Welcome back to Mock the Mock, where we take a look at someone else's mock draft and I mock it. Giving you my thoughts, views, and opinions. We're checking out NBC. They don't actually have who wrote this, but they got a mock draft on the page, so we're going to go ahead and do a mock draft. But what's crack-a-lackin'? It's your boy Broshmo, just in case you did not know. So go ahead, become a bro and subscribe. Leave this video a thumbs up if you enjoy the content. As always, let me know what you think in the comment section below so we can have that nice, beautiful, sensual football discourse. Let's go ahead and get into this sucker. The draft order is decided via Tankathon. You'll be getting this Friday, so whatever happened in the Thanksgiving games, I don't care. All right, Chicago Bears. They go Caleb Williams. Real quick, my opinion on this is Bears trade Justin Fields. Let the remainder of the season kind of be this portion where Justin Fields really helps increase his draft stock or his trade stock, his market stock, his stock, and get what you can, and then just go ahead and get a quarterback on a rookie deal, full rookie deal. Because if you prolong with Justin Fields, you're going to have to make some decisions. And my question is, if he does start looking good, is it good enough to be like, yeah, he's our franchise quarterback? And if it's not, then you're probably not going to be picking in the top 10 again. So it's just kind of like Justin Fields is a victim of circumstance here. I just think it just makes more logical sense for the Bears to move in this direction. That they're going to have the first overall pick, and then I think they get pick 4 or 5 in this draft as well. So it just makes more sense to me. It's not a reflection necessarily on Justin Fields, more so a reflection on just his progression up until now. For me, it's just not enough to warrant just banking on he's the guy. The Arizona Cardinals go with Marvin Harrison Jr. That's a good pick. Best non-quarterback prospect on the board. Some would say the best prospect in general on the board. Cardinals get him here. I don't know if there's trades in this. I like to do these mock the mocks where I don't look at the mock prior. It's that way you get a real visceral reaction. Unless of course it's a video, then I gotta watch it. Yeah, I don't want to like miss just totally like butcher someone's argument in the video, opposed to like with an article we can literally read what they say here on the spot. The Patriots go with Drake Maye. That makes all the sense in the world. You're here, get your quarterback of the future. Maybe this extends the Belichick era for the Patriots. So top 2 quarterbacks now off the board. Chicago Bears go with Joe Alt. Okay, this is opposed to Olu Fashanu. For me, I headed into the season with Alt as my offensive tackle 1. But for me, it's kind of like 1A, 1B. I think Alt's really good. If someone takes him over Olu, that won't surprise me much. So the Bears go ahead and grab a tackle there and be like, what about Braxton Jones? Braxton Jones has been looking good. Yeah, maybe like you could maybe pivot that and find a tackle needy team that will take him while he's still relatively cheap. You get a tackle cheap for 2 years before you have to actually sign his contract. So could be like maybe a Washington or something. So like you can still go tackle and then move on from Jones, which is it's a shame, but I mean it's kind of where you find yourself in the draft. All right, we got the New York Giants going Olu Fashanu, so they get a tackle of the future. This kicks Evan Neal probably into guard or puts him on the trading block. Regardless, you gotta do something at this pick for the Giants. Top 2 quarterbacks are off the board. Do you want to take quarterback 3 here at 5? That's gonna kind of be the question everyone has. Or do you take maybe a wide receiver that's not Marvin Harrison Jr., which is fine. I think the other 3 receivers could warrant top 10 picks. You can do that, or you could continue to try to, I guess, protect. Like I think Olu is probably the top player on the board you make that pick there, kick him to right tackle. Some people will be like, oh man, well, that kind of, you got to get a guy that's switching sides. Like people have done it in the NFL, like Penny Sewell, which you could honestly put Olu up in that tier of player. We've seen Tristan Wirfs actually do it in the NFL. I mean, Evan Neal was a guy that played both sides at Alabama, and they kick him back. They kick him to right tackle where he played not his final year of college football, but the year prior. So it's like we've seen it in the NFL. Does always work. But if they're this tier of player, it should be fine. Tennessee tight ends, they go Brock Bowers. I like this pick. I think the offensive line, though, is so dog water. You kind of have to go with that. There, you can make a case for wide receiver. I got no problem with taking Brock Bowers, though. He is kind of an extension on the offensive line where you're getting a very good blocking tight end on top of what he can do from a pass catching standpoint. Washington Commanders go Latu. This is a fine pick. Like, if you're not comfortable with the tackles after Olu and Alt, then yeah, you can maybe take your top edge on the board. So I'm A-okay with that here for the Commandos. Real quick, give a shout out to today's sponsor, Underdog Fantasy. If you like weekly best ball, or if you like higher and lower on player prop bets, Underdog Fantasy is the best place to do that. When you sign up using promo code Broshmo, they'll match that first deposit up to $100 dues. But as always, please bet responsibly, my friends. Let's take a look at the Atlanta Falcons. They go Bo Nix. Listen, there's a lot of Bo Nix haters out there, to which I would say, get over it. He's probably a first rounder. Probably. I say probably because, again, there's always that chance that good players slide. But at the quarterback position, I think his stock is gonna. Well, quarterbacks in general get overdrafted. And if you view him as quarterback 3, go ahead, pull the trigger. Desmond Ridder probably ain't it. Taylor Heineke definitely ain't it. We see the Green Bay Packers go Kool-Aid McKinstry. I'd be willing to go with tackle 3 here, but I get it. You can take whoever you deem the top corner on the board. It's a very volatile position, the cornerback position. So you want to add talent, add depth, add competition to it. So Kool-Aid McKinstry would be a good pickup. You can put Jair in the slot. He's very flexible, whether he's inside or outside. Eric Stokes, have we seen him yet this season? I know he's been coming back from the injury, but I don't recall him on the field as of yet. Yeah, no, hasn't been on the field yet. Okay. So there might be concerns there with the injury. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Rome Odunze. I like the idea of, hey, let's grab a receiver. Mike Evans, we appreciate everything you've done for us, but we just fear you're going to be far too expensive for us. So Rome Odunze, good pickup here. I like it. The Jets go Telenisa Fuaga. I'm pretty high on Telenisa myself, but I don't mind him being OT3 here. The offensive line for the Jets is it kind of sucks. Oh, it's not as bad as you think. No, well, Tippmann's encouraging. Mekhi Becton just got hurt again. Like, is he someone you're going to extend? Maybe you can bring him back for a solid enough contract that it doesn't break the bank too much. You could kick Elijah Vera Tucker out to tackle, but I mean, you still got problems there with the interior. Lincoln Tomlinson hasn't played well. He's kind of been a bust free agent. There's questions with the center position, so it's like you just gotta keep adding more talent. You just gotta keep adding more talent. You just got to. You could, with this, you could potentially just move on from, like, there's a lot of things you could do. You could be like, okay, we're not going to sign Becton, so we'll have Elijah Vera Tucker and Fuaga be our tackles moving forward. Maybe you keep Elijah Vera Tucker at guard. Maybe you feel good about guys like Max Mitchell and whatnot. You still don't re-sign Becton. You still got an open in there. Like, again, the possibilities are endless to a degree. The Chargers, they're going to go Cooper DeJean. I like them getting a very flexible defensive back there. Guy that can play safety, can play in the slot, play a corner. Good pickup. I think defense kind of makes the most sense here for the Chargers. Los Angeles Rams, They're going to be going with Dallas Turner. Solid pickup. Edge, definitely they could go out and grab another one to complement Byron Young. Byron Young is like a legit athletic freak speedster. You get another one to complement him. So you got these two explosive edge players along with Aaron Donald there in the middle. Would love a tackle here, but you've already seen 3 tackles. I think 3 tackles go off the board. So like JC Latham would be a thought. But you got to ask yourself, how much of a fit is he for the Rams, if anything? Or Marius Mims might be the better fit. But then again, you have 2 guys that are played the right side, kicking left. The Raiders go Michael Penix. There we go, dude. I love this. Give Penix, give Bo Nix, give them some love. I think they're first-round caliber quarterbacks. Michael Penix being able to stay healthy after a rough first 4 seasons at Indiana where he had a season-ending injury every year there. It's nice to see him be healthy. I think this is a cat that can really take advantage of targets like Devontae Adams and Jacoby Myers and a Michael Mayer there. So you get a legit Slater. Aiden O'Connell, you've had a nice run. You're a backup level quarterback in my opinion.
Listen, I know you love the NFL draft as much as I do, and you're going to want a nice hefty watch list of players during this college football season. Well, go ahead, check out my draft guide. You can purchase it for only $30 by Venmoing or PayPaling me. Links in the description. It's a one-time payment and you get it for this whole draft cycle and forever and always. Technically, it's a Google spreadsheet. So send me your email when you send the payment. I'll get you hooked up. You will see my current prospect rankings and big board, my full evals. And guess what? It updates throughout the whole draft cycle. So it's a great purchase and it's a great way to support the channel. This one's interesting as the Colts go with Jerzon Newton. I'm not opposed to that. I kind of view Newton as a potential top 10 talent in this class. I think he's that darn good. And for a team under Gus Bradley that will not blitz a ton forever, I think Newton, you want to be exceptionally talented there on the defensive line. Newton helps with that. Oh, interesting. Broncos go Denzel Burke. I don't have Burke this high. I do like Burke, but this feels a little too high for him. I think he's more fringe first rounder than mid first rounder. I would probably take a swing at one of the wide receiver prospects. I feel like that you got Malik Neighbors and Keon Coleman here. Take whoever you like between those guys. I think that's kind of the pick, but like if you're that high on Burke, then yeah, go for it. I'm just not there with him. Not to say I'm like much lower though, you know. I'm not too much lower, but it does feel a little rich at 16. Cincinnati Bengals, they go Malik Neighbors rather than Keon Coleman, who I feel like would probably be a more similar fit to T. Higgins if he is gone in the offseason. I mean, this article, like right here, it doesn't really mention T. Higgins, though it says Cincinnati has already enjoyed amazing success with an LSU wide receiver, 2-time Pro Bowler Jamar Chase. That's really the only reference of the Bengals. So could this be a Tyler Boyd replacement? You just franchise tag T. Higgins. A lot of possibilities here, but I do like the addition of a receiver in general in the first round. Buffalo Bills go with Jared Verse. Ooh, this one's interesting. Let's read. Speed to power pass rusher, first attacks with improved counter moves and purposefulness that makes him less predictable and difficult to block. He competes with tenacity. There we go. That's a word. That matches his production over the past 23 games. Okay, it just labels his stats. So you do look at that edge position where you're not getting the production you would hope from Von Miller. I mean, AJ Epenesa's at least he had a hot start to the season, but he's someone that you're going to have to pay soon. They have Gregory Rousseau. So, like, yeah, if you want to add, like, legit, like, more competition and someone that can maybe legitimately be a star there, okay, I don't mind it. It's great value. I'm not going to really balk too much out of it. Saints go Keon Coleman. Very solid pickup. You got Michael Thomas. He's a free agent after the season.
I think he's a very good complement to your Chris Olaves and your Rashid Shaheeds. Great pick. Minnesota Vikings go with J.J. McCarthy. So no Jaden Daniels yet. Maybe he's here later on. J.J. McCarthy, I think, have a very strong game against Ohio State. And then at least one strong game in the playoffs. Again, it's not for sure. They might get booted out of the playoffs after the first round. But let's just say he has that they do get booted, but he has a strong performance. That can help elevate his stock because the guy has the arm talent and the ability to be a first rounder. We just haven't seen that against great competition, and we have seen it in bits and parts during this season. But again, with a lackluster showing against Maryland, lackluster showing against Bowling Green, you're hoping for more consistency. Arizona Cardinals go with Nate Wiggins. I have moved up Nate Wiggins a little bit on my board. So this is really good value. I think the Cardinals would love to get more cornerback talent there. So good pick there by the Cardinals. They come out of round one looking real good. Seattle Seahawks go JT Tuimoloau. The Seahawks are kind of hard to gauge what they can do here if it's not quarterback, which I think I would definitely consider Jaden Daniels at this point. Then where do you exactly go? Do you just take your best player on the board? And I think you can do that. You look at the Seattle pass rush, and I don't think they're done yet. They don't know what they got in Derek Hall quite yet, but Boye Mafe is really emergent. So you want to just keep taking swings. I got no problem with that. JT kind of a freak in terms of size, length, power, speed. So cool. You got the Pittsburgh Steelers, Kalen Keene. Literally everybody and their mom mocks Kalen Keene here to the Steelers. I mean, I guess rather than talk about this pick, because I feel like I've talked about it to death, what are other areas they can go? Armarius Mims would be fascinating. And suddenly you have two Georgia tackles there on the offensive line. I think that's kind of sexy. We could talk about, if you want maybe safety one in this class, I think that's a potential. Like Kazi's up there in years, so finding that actual running mate with Mika Fitzpatrick could be an option. Outside of that, I think those are probably like the corner talent, the talents here, if you want to take a swing on it. So like, I feel like that's the best pick. Texans go with Leonard Taylor out of the U. I love the potential of Leonard Taylor. I don't think the Hurricanes, I don't think the coaching staff there is using him to his best. Just using him to his best. I guess that's the word I'm looking for. Like you look at how he's playing. He's playing a majority of the time, zero tech, A gap, where it's like I think you want him to be like a penetrating 3 tech. That's where he's at. And then they don't use him a lot in the run game, which I mean in the NFL you got to be able to run defend. You got to, or else you're not going to be a day one pick. And that's kind of why I think maybe Taylor comes back. But then again, you're not sure, will Miami use him like that in another year, or does he just transfer and look for greener pastures? But I like this pick for the Texans. D'Amico Ryan, I believe, is a guy that, he's going to keep trying to throw talent there in the trenches. Miami Dolphins take Cameron Kitchens. I don't hate this pick. If you're not in love, see, if Mims wasn't on the board, or shoot, JC Latham, I would be like, you know what, I'm fine with this. But since you do have like very premier tackle talent on the board, I think you go there. I kind of like the idea of Cam Kitchens in a Vic Fangio defense. It's kind of sexy to me because now he doesn't have to be like this center fielder like Miami uses him. You're playing in a quarters heavy scheme, so there's a little less of the field to where you have to cover ground, but he does have a nose for the football. So he could be that playmaker that just creates turnovers. So not bad, but I'd probably go with the tackle. Shoot, matter of fact, Dallas Cowboys, they take JC Latham. Why wouldn't we? Listen, I think your left tackle of the future is on the roster. I really do. It's Tyler Smith. Some people will be like, well, I mean, we live in a division where we gotta face guys like Jalen Carter and And you got your Dexter Lawrence, your Deron Payne, Jonathan Allen. And it's like, that's fair. Sure, you can go with that, but I feel like you could find manageable guys there at the guard position that can help minimize that. I think you would rather have like a guy who I truly believe has the potential to be a top 10 tackle in the league. I think you'd rather have that, so I say just move him out. But I mean, if you want to keep him there, JC Latham, sitting right there, that's a good pick. That's a good pick. San Francisco 49ers go with Kalen Bullock. Oh, so they get a guy with disgusting range there in the back end. Oh, I like that quite a bit. Pairing him up with former teammate Noah Hufanga. Oh, chef's kiss. I would consider tackle here, though, as well, with Armarius Mims still on the board. Jacksonville Jaguars go with Emeka Ibuka. I feel like he's very similar to a guy like Christian Kirk, but if you want to just keep infusing talent to that wide receiver core, yeah, go for it. He's that next tier after guys like Neighbors, Coleman, and Odunze are off the board. He is that next guy, so go with it. Kansas City Chiefs take Mason Smith. Oh, I don't see Mason Smith going this high right now. I think he kind of falls in the same problem as Leonard Taylor. Not necessarily they don't use him in the run game, but that he's being used a ton in that A-gap area. And I feel like he's a guy that he was a former edge his freshman year. Like, have this guy attack, like whether it's like 3-tech, 5-tech, have him go and get after it. That kind of puzzles me, but I don't think he's in that first round area right now, but he is a guy that will probably like test out like a freak. Chiefs get to pair him up with Chris Jones, extend Chris Jones. So chef's kiss, but also a spot I might want to take wide receiver. Detroit Lions take Josh Newton. I'm not this high on Josh Newton. I'm like him better in that like 50 to 75 range. But the Lions, they could definitely go after a corner the first round, especially. There's going to be a good amount of corner talent there at the back end of the first round if they want to take it. Baltimore Ravens go with Xavier Leggett. That's just kind of sick. That's just kind of sick. You get this big, fast monster to pair up with like your Zay Flowers and even Rashad Bateman. Remember, OBJ, free agent after the season. Kind of all for it. I'm here for it. And the final pick here, we got the Philadelphia Eagles going. Armarius Mims. Interesting. I kind of assumed they just didn't have Mims on their board. Like, they assumed he might be coming back. But no, he's here. I would have taken him there for the Dolphins. This is just kind of the Eagles looking ahead. Remember, this is a team that addresses needs before they become needs. Mims this allows Mims to kind of just sit under the learning tree of like a Lane Johnson for a year or two. So good on them. They get a great player. And plus he's out of Georgia. The Eagles will love him. But that's it for the video. Go ahead, do that YouTube thing. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. But as always, till next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.